How to handle no contact with a coworker after being used as a rebound.
Well, in that situation, usually what you're seeing, the guy's been rejected, he pursued too hard, or maybe she went back to a guy she was dating. And because that always happens, especially if she just had a quick breakup and then she's on the rebound with this particular guy because there was probably some chemistry there all along. And so if she's pushed you away and unilaterally ended and changed the terms of your relationship, you tell her to get in touch if she changes her mind. And so when you're in the office, if you see her like across the office, smile, wave, and then just go about your business, what you're doing. Don't go out of your way to talk to her. If she comes up and talks to you, be nice, engage her, ask questions, get her to talk. But don't be going and lingering around her desk or her office, and especially don't be talking to your coworkers about her and crying, crying in your beer over it. And because a lot of guys in those situations, what I see they do is they have, whether it's other women in the office or other guy friends in the office that they confide in, and he's all torn up, and then he shares it with one person that he thinks is his friend, maybe in another guy, but secretly deep down that male coworker is really hoping to
Yeah.
get in her pants. And so he tells all this stuff, and then that guy can use it to make him look bad. And if she's pushed you away, especially if you've over pursued or you displayed a lot of unattractive behavior, that's not going to help your case. All that's going to do is reconfirm to her that she made the right decision by breaking things off with you. And so you should spend your time where people celebrate you, not where you're tolerated, not where a girl's sitting on the fence. And so go talk to the other pretty girls in the office. Doesn't mean you have to hit on them or try to get in their pants or anything, but just give your attention to other people who appreciate and value it, because scarcity creates value. And if she's tossed you aside, you don't need to be interacting with her and talking to her because she fucked it up if she ended it. And that's why you're in no contact. She probably tried to friend zone or whatever. And so in that case, the way you got to look at it is that she's got to earn another chance with you, not the other way around. She has to fix it because she broke it. And so, therefore, you're going to live your life. And as a man, you always focus on your mission and your purpose. And there's also a mission and purpose for your personal life. And I assume he probably wants a girl to have a relationship with. And the girl he was hooking up with in the office was a rebound. And especially when a girl's had a breakup just recently and the ex is in the picture or just come out of a long term relationship, she'll be all hot and heavy and all over you for a couple of weeks. And then she'll get emotional. Maybe the guy comes over and they talk, and then what seemed to be a romance that was progressing really well, now all of a sudden she becomes distant and she pushes you away. And then, so you got to understand, if you're going to get involved with a girl who just had a breakup, or especially a woman that's in the middle of a divorce, which I would not recommend. I only would do that if she's done with her divorce, not somebody that just filed, especially a woman that's still living with her spouse or her baby daddy or significant other. And so what you need to do is you need to give your attention to people that appreciate it and just let her be. You'll be nice, you'll be respectful, and so you kind of think of it from this perspective. How would you treat her if you were bored of her, if you were tired of fucking her, and you really didn't want to hook up anymore? You wouldn't be rude, you'd be nice, you'd be cordial, but you'd be polite if she comes over and talks to
Yeah.
you. But the reality is you're going to go give your attention to somebody who's excited to see you and talk to you. Because again, if she's a girl that just had a breakup, maybe she broke up with her boyfriend or 2 or 3 years, and 2 weeks later she's hooking up with you, and that lasts for 2 or 3 weeks, and all of a sudden she goes cold. I wrote about that in my book in 3% Man. It's like you should expect that she's going to be hot and cold. And so in those cases when the woman goes cold, you got to let her be. You can't chase, you can't pursue. She oftentimes says, I need space, or I got to figure things out, or maybe my boyfriend and I, or my husband, we're trying one more time, or whatever for the kids, or whatever it happens to be. And so you're going to leave it when you last talk. Say, call me if you change your mind, or get in touch if you change your mind. And as far as that goes, you're just going to treat her like any other girl in the office that, if you were tired of fucking her and you're bored of her, you don't like hanging out with her, maybe she bores you or whatever. How would you treat her? You'd be nice. You wouldn't be rude.
Yeah, because
But you're
that could
also
cause
not
big
going to go.
problems for your career.
Yeah, well, you're not going out of your way to go talk to her, and just kind of hang around and linger. You're gonna, because she's gonna wonder more about you because you're literally giving her the space, and the way you treat her is, especially if a week or two goes by, because if it didn't work out with the other guy and he's coming back in the picture, probably in a few weeks' time, it'll go sideways again. And then when it goes sideways, she'll probably warm up to you. Maybe she'll text you. Maybe she'll say hey. And then you just use that as the opportunity to set the next date, to create the next opportunity for sex to happen. Following the script that's in Seven Principles Get an X Back. So that's what I would do it.
But I would also be careful, like dating in the office too, especially
Yeah.
nowadays with like how HR departments are and stuff.
That's
Especially
where
even
you
as a
gotta let her
guy.
do all the pursuing.
Yeah, you can't do the pursuing.
Yeah.
The Me Too movement.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Because girls like you when you work together, they'll let you know.
Yeah.
They'll wait till you're hanging out late at night and it's just you and them, and they'll say something to you, or they'll come in your office and close the door and then confess that they're in love with you or whatever. Or they'll be hanging out. You go to a company happy hour and it starts out like 15 people, and as the evening goes along, then there's 4 or 5, and then they leave, and then it's just the two of you, one on one, and then that's when typically the girl gets a little frisky. And since she's the one coming on to you and bumping into you and touching you and playing with her hair and asking you questions, it's if she passes the kiss test and it looks like she's ready to be kissed, then yeah, you can make a move then, because she's stayed behind. Girls will linger like that. They'll be the last ones to leave if everybody's out and she likes you because she wants to get you alone and come on to you when nobody else is around. And then you can kind of be like James Bond and keep it from everybody. It's not something. I see a lot of guys make mistakes in these situations. They start talking or confiding in somebody in the office, and then the shit gets around the whole office. And so women like a guy that can keep his mouth shut. And ideally, if you were hooking up with a girl that just broke up with her boyfriend and nobody in the office knows that you guys were hooking up, it needs to stay that way. Because if it gets out that the two of you, because a lot of guys, I banged the hot girl from accounting. If it gets out and it gets back to her, then you're kind of a douche and you couldn't keep your mouth shut. And you make her look bad.
That causes a bunch of issues.
And that's not a good way to go. And so the only way anybody's going to find out about it is if she tells people, which oftentimes usually the girl's going to be the one that, when she can't take it anymore, she starts, telling other girls in the office. And then next thing you know, by the afternoon, everybody in the office knows about it. And so people start coming up to you, it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, gentlemen, even if that did happen, gentlemen, don't kiss and tell. I'm an innocent child of God. I don't know what you're talking about, with a shit-eating grin on your face. Just don't answer the question. It's none of their business. It's between you and her. It's that sounds like a rumor to me. It's like I saw I heard there was a video you guys kissed and somebody filmed it. It's like, I think it's probably a deep fake. That's ridiculous. It's a cheap fake.
Yeah.
Like Biden said, all the videos of them with dementia. It's a cheap fake. It's not legit.
Any of the videos I look bad, those are all fake. Any of the real ones, those are real though. The ones that look good.
And also, if she starts to come back and you start hooking up, you got to let her do all the calling, texting, and pursuing, because again, you don't know the situation, and typically what's happening is the guy is now starting to pursue, especially if she was the one that dumped him. And we know women typically about 75% of the time are doing the dumping. And so if the guy got dumped, he's probably not liking it. He's probably trying to come back in the picture. And so you should expect her to be hot and cold. And so when she disappears and dips back to him or whatever, or becomes unsure, you just let her be. And what she'll do is she'll test the shit out of the guy that she was with, and he'll flail around, and she's not hearing anything from you because you've gone radio silent because she's told you she needs time, or she might try to work it out with him or whatever. And then when she tests the shit out of the old guy, and then he starts flailing around and displaying a lot of unattractive behavior and chasing her, he'll chase her right back into your arms. And then you just resume hanging out, having fun, and hooking up. She reaches out. You assume she wants to see you. You make a date. And you just let her do all the contact initiation. So as her interest grows, as she continues to feel safe and comfortable, and her attraction and respect level for you grows, it will diminish in the old guy. And so, but again, you really have to let her, especially women in that situation, come to you and do all the pursuing.